semi-final Saturday rounds off with Wales taking 9th place at the Netball World Cup 2023. It doesn't. It rounds off with us doing Off the Court Daily. Sarah Francis Bayman has just walked past. You can't. Come back. Come back. No, she's run. Oh, no, she's coming back. This is the pool of Off the Court Daily. You can get her running faster than she's ever run in her life. She's known as Run Like Forest on social media, and that was just for that reason. You can go now. No, I don't come back. 10th for Scotland is a bit of a...
I think if you'd given it us before the tournament, we'd probably have taken it. You know, how we've done in the tournament is, you know, we didn't want to finish like that today. We wanted more. And it's hard coaching with Tamsin because we're both super competitive, so we always want more. So we've done some really exciting stuff this week, but I think we're really glad that the girls are disappointed with how they finished today, because that means they'll want to kick on, you know, for the next 4-year cycle.
I know I'm supposed to talk serious stuff now, but Eboni Usoro-Brown's here. I was like totally blocking you, which is the first time in my life. She does this when she's excited. You, during that third or fourth quarter, I don't know what was coming out of your mouth and your hands and everything else aside.
I don't think they should stick a mic anywhere near me on the bench. I was getting excited. I then completely lost it. I was like, couldn't stop laughing when Nichols just threw a forward roll into the game. There was a whole roller coaster of emotions today, but. You know, semi-finals day is a big day, and I felt a bit weird all day. I was nervous for England to begin with. I was nervous for us, and now, you know, it's a little bit of an anticlimax for us. But I think we'll look back and reflect on a pretty good tournament for us.
Let's say your first Netball World Cup as an assistant coach. How's it been?
It's worse than being a player. It's definitely worse. I'd say I'm more tired, but I know I'm not as sore as the players. But yeah, I think just the relentless nature, you know, of debriefing, scouting the next team, playing the game, repeat is really tough. But it's also great, you know, the nations that are here, we don't get to play all the time, and for the girls to experience this in Africa with these crowds has been phenomenal.
Can we have just a little word on England? Because both of you have shared that unique experience now of me going off on one, whilst you then both go Wah! In that final moment as history's made for England. I know you were watching that. What did you make of their performance?
It was a weird game, I thought, like really cagey from both sides, and the only thing that worried me was that England couldn't shake New Zealand off. And so when they did it in that last 5 minutes, when Fran made that interception, me and Stacey were both stood up just screaming. It was pretty sweet to see them do that and to grind a game out like that after that Australia game. You know, they're showing something really special in the steel that they've got.
What did you say at 3/4 time?
I said, they've got this. England are going to win.
Yeah.
I know, Caroline, you were a bit tentative, weren't you? You were like,
never in doubt.
The first 3 quarters, but I was like, no, don't worry. They've got this.
I don't like making predictions because every time I say that, they've got this, like New Zealand will come back and I'd be like, no. Do you know what?
In a minute. They've got it in a minute.
Exactly. And it was never in doubt, was it?
Someone's creeping up behind you, and I'm glad you put your arm around her. How's this experience been for you?
Awful. Just. I did actually say I'm going to miss her when she leaves me and goes back to Australia, only because she's about as miserable as I am. So we both pick ourselves up through all the low points, don't we, Saz?
Yeah, we do. I won't miss her though.
Who snores? No, we're not getting into that because you've shared a bedroom this whole way through too. You've shared this experience at a World Cup as coaches for the first time. Overall, how do you sum it up?
Which is hard for us, a positive experience. She won't tell me that later, but we've done things that the Thistles group haven't done before. We ran close against Malawi. We've got back gaps against England, Australia. We've got more court time for the 12 players. We're the youngest group here. I mean, the list goes on, and I think that's why this one hurts today so much, because we're almost there. And I think we've given a lot this week. The players have given us everything, and to be fair to them, they've stepped up at times and delivered, haven't they?
They have. And this is that competitive edge I was talking about. We're like, yeah, it was really good, but we always want more, and I think it's exciting that this group want more as well.
What does it really mean for Scottish netball? Obviously, they've been able to showcase their talents on the world stage. Ironically, come halfway across the world to play Wales in the 9th, 10th playoff. But in terms of Scottish netball and development, where do we go from here?
Well, it's huge. Having the youngest group in this competition has been a big step up. I said 5 players don't even play Super League, so that needs to shift. There's been so many things that these players have learnt here on the world stage, playing the different styles, and actually it's right. You know, we were in that place to play Wales in that position. I think we're going at them. We're getting closer at times in some areas, and in some areas we still need to learn. So I think it was a good matchup for us today.
Yeah, and I think we've also talked about the need for for England to support the home nations a little bit. You know, get our young players, get Wales's young players playing, you know, in that pathway coming through, and hopefully drive the standard of the netball in the UK rather than it just being, you know, England and then this massive drop off.
You know, I'm bored with you both now because we were just chatting. This is what team meetings are like. Who's going to talk? Who's going to end it? Who's going to keep going, right?
Well, actually, they hate team meetings, so they're really quick.
Well, hey, keep them as coaches then. What do they do instead of team meetings then?
Lots and lots of analysis.
Why doesn't that surprise me? A word on these two coaches?
Oh, this is really awkward to stand right next to me. No, they're amazing. They really push us to be the best we can be, and it's really disappointing that we can't stand up to that and give them the win today that they deserve as coaches and we deserve as players. But yeah, we just hope they don't leave us.
No, the really good news is that Sarah just said tonight's all on her. Is it 3 course, 4 course? Yeah, look at that. It's coming your way.
Well, actually, Tamsin Duzzle is £267.
Oh, what for?
We had some shooting competitions as we came in for the last day, and suddenly they got really good at shooting long bombs. I don't know where they got this practice. And then even when I'm not at training, they're filming it and making sure they're practicing. So
You should have been on the side. Show me the money. That's where you went wrong.
I just need to clarify, it was rand, not pounds.
No, definitely not. We did this back in Scotland.
Hey, well done, all 3 of you, particularly you, and putting up with these 2. Go enjoy your night and that 267 rand. Yeah, there she goes, off into the distance. A brilliant tournament. Ella Powell-Davies, talking of brilliant tournaments, we're here doing Off the Court Daily after Wales took 9th over Scotland, taking 10th. We'll just say that a bit quietly. You have stood out in all the figures. Some maybe we won't want to look at with the penalties, but what a brilliant World Cup for you.
Yeah, I've really loved it. I think, you know, this is what a lot of athletes look to try and get into. So to be able to have the opportunity with Wales to get involved has been amazing. And I think off the back of a Super League season, it's really built us up for this World Cup. So I absolutely love playing with the group, and it's just so nice to come away with 9.
Have you met the EPD fan group right here?
I was saying, going to this match, what was the messaging, especially from Emily Handy's side, because you won all 4 quarters?
I think, you know, every single game she's just said it's game by game. So this was just the next game, and obviously we always said, you've said with the Scotland girls, we always end up going to all these tournaments and we end up playing Scotland at the end of it. And so we just really kept that every game that we've had in this pool has been building towards this last finishing position. We know we've done the work, and we know we've got the processes. So to just go through with that today was really good, and we've been waiting for that 60-minute performance. So to have all that come together, it's just really exciting for the future for us.
What a side of the draw you were in from the very start as well. So you had to pick out, I guess, those wins, as in quarter wins, or how you were matching up against sides prior to the tournament, how you thought you might develop through it.
Yeah, as soon as we got the draw, we kind of made out the games that we might win, the games that we think that we may not be as good at. So we were able to kind of prep for the games that we ended up, and it actually ended up being correct, the ones that we prepped for, which was really good. But, you know, we're still aiming for 8. That was our target. So to just fall short of that, you know, the motivation in this group, we only want to succeed more. I think we still think, what if we could have come up against Tonga and Malawi to really put where Wales really are on the world stage. So I think, you know, we still got that grit to hopefully as netball develops, we kind of get exposed to those other teams, because right now we don't get that exposure. So, you know, I think with all netball, especially our home nations like Wales, like Scotland, we need that exposure with the other teams to really progress. So hopefully looking forward to that now, and looking forward to the next competition, the Commonwealth Games.
And some rest bursts, hopefully.
Absolutely. I think it's always so tough. Like, a lot of us are doing Super League or ANZ or SSN, so this is an absolute well-deserved rest, and I can't wait to get myself on holiday.
Little small final tomorrow, will you be interested in?
Yeah, we are definitely all there. So we'll have celebrations tonight as a group, and just really celebrate the fact that where we've come and this journey, and then tomorrow we are all here watching the games. So.
Hopefully dressed in red again.
Yes, I'm sure we will be. Kit always.
Green will never be seen.
No.
What a great game that we were all there watching, and you know what's really nice about these games as well, we see everyone when they come back to the hotel. So as much as everyone's competitive when it's in the groups, it's really lovely when when the England girls came back in, and we're all just praising them. It was such an amazing game, and yeah, we're all behind them for tomorrow's game.
How good is Claire Jones at hiding, by the way?
Terrible. It was a step forward and a step back. Yeah.
Come in, Claire. Come in, Claire. Ella, a quick word on on Claire, 'cause we said during that match, just such a calming influence.
Yeah, I think, one of your greatest strengths, we do call her the psychologist of the group. She stays on top of all of us, but, centre is that crucial position, and sometimes I think I'm leggy and I think, no, I'm not leggy because this one's doing 60 minutes at centre. So, she is an absolute leader on the court, and we are super, super lucky to have her in our group.
Oh, the love in the room. Isn't it just wonderful?
Yeah, go. All right, sorry. And Claire, of course, Dame Ella Powell-Davies.
I mean, words just fail me when it comes to Ella. She's just set her up and she'll go on a fly. When I try and take the intercept, I get a little bit of a telling off now and again. She puts me in my place there. But I mean, the way she reads the game, and she's still 24. That's ridiculous. So I just think, what a bright future for her. I'm so excited for her.
Oh, you're so right. We were saying and talking about it in commentary beforehand. Other teams have played the game more, and there you are, all up in the highest stats, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's how we're really coming together. We're not just working as individuals. We're really trying to suss out how we can work as units, and then collectively as a team. We always say, there's 7 in attack, there's 7 in defence. So, we've got our superstars that love to win balls. So how can we make those look good?
What have you learnt most about yourselves and I guess the team from the start to the end of the competition?
I think overall, for Wales, the future's bright. I think obviously we'll be disappointed about that Uganda score because that was the one that tipped us off our ultimate goal of being 8th, but then we said to ourselves nothing less than 9th. And we want to be getting there to, 5th, 6th in the world. So I think this is going to be a huge stepping stone to really kind of reset and go again.
5th, 6th in the world, come on.
Here we go.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely. So, yeah, I think we've had another successful campaign under our belts, and now it's time to have a little rest, but regroup and come back fighting for the next 4-year cycle.
All right, we get the hint. Go on. Brilliant tournament. Fantastic finish. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Look how fresh they look.
I know.
Still walking.
Beautiful.
Was it like this? It was a bit stiff. All right, we'll order some. Yeah. Someone who's still going, and it won't surprise these two, is Nia Jones, just behind us. It's a good job we've actually got directional microphones because the noise, just wave after wave, comes down from Nia Jones. Yeah, not as good at hiding as Claire, by the way. Off she goes, Ella Powell-Davies. So in the mixed zone, we've seen, obviously, a number of the Wales players having a scout around. It seems like Scotland have gone home.
Yeah.
They've gone back to the hotel. They'll all be back, no doubt, tomorrow for that final as it goes on. Nia, don't escape that easily. One final word from Nia Jones. I don't know whether that was an we don't want to hear any more from Nia.
Okay.
One final word.
Diolch.
There you go. She said it at the end of every interview, and I could see some of the South African interviews. They came back to us and asking what diolch meant, so we were telling them. Yeah, so it was all lovely.
When I said buy a donkey, a South African friend of mine said buy a horse instead, so I'm not sure my pronunciation of thank you very much in Afrikaans is that great, but I'll work on it.
You go work on that.
Thank you.
Put your feet up. We don't want to hear from you anymore. We heard plenty of you on court. Nia Jones, well done. Off she goes. Always worth a chat is Nia Jones, so we won't let her have one. Because that is the end of Off the Court Daily from Inside the Mixed Zone Special. A day that has seen, as the last match, Wales take 9th, Scotland finish 10th. 16th to 9th, done.
Brilliant.
Anything happening tomorrow?
Oh, just a small thing of the Netball World Cup final.
England, Australia. Oh, we will have all the fallout. I mean, we said it from the start.
Yeah.
England for the win. We're not backing down now. We will see you on Off the Court Daily, hopefully with loads of hungover players. Hungover from the emotion of winning a gold for England at the World Cup. Keep everything crossed. Mainly our legs, because she still hasn't given birth yet.